bit and try our best to do what the Lord would have us do this morning. The Bible said in the first verse of the 12th chapter of the book of Hebrews, it says, "Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us. Let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God." Now we'll skip down to the 12th verse. It says, "Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down, and the feeble knees. Make straight paths for your feet, lest that which lame be turned out of the way, but let it rather be healed today." Is what the Word of God says to us. Brother Anthony, I guess if I had some thoughts this morning, that they would turn to this 12th verse. It says, "Wherefore lift up the hands which hang down and the feeble knees." How we live in a day and time, Brother Randall, which the devil, my friend, he'd love nothing more than to sift us as wheat, Brother Anthony. He don't want his people to grow. He wants to beat us down, and we live in a discouraged time. If you look around, you can just go out in town and you see everybody is just discouraged today, my friend. And if we look back at that first verse, it said, "Let us lay aside every weight and every sin that so easily does beset us. Turn to the author and finisher of our faith." Brother Randall, I'm thankful to know that as long as I am and sorry as I am, there was a man named Jesus, and he saved my soul. He set my feet on a solid rock and established my goings. My friend, today we'll get weak down, oh my friend, and we'll hang our hands and their head, oh my friend. But the Bible said to lift up our hands and our feeble knees. My friend, we'll gain strength today, Brother Anthony, from the Lord. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in pastures. Oh, my friend, oh, it's such a time. I'd like for us to get encouraged today. I don't know who's listening today on their radio. Oh, but my friend, the Lord don't want you to be discouraged. The Bible says to be not weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Oh, my friend, you might think that you're all alone at this thing, my friend, that you're all by yourself. You have no one to turn to. But I'm thankful today to know that's a lie, that the devil's told you. Oh, my friend, when the Lord saved me, he introduced me to the church of a living God. Oh, my friend, I never have been alone. Brother Randall, when I think there's no one that loves me, there's no one that cares for me. Oh, my friend, the church comes to my rescue. You say, Brother Adam, I'll just stay at home. I can listen to the broadcast and stay at home and be just fine today. My friend, that's another lie that the devil told you. Get off your seat feet. Take your feeble hands over to the house of God. My friend, let's get that stuff that so easily does beset us out of the way today. And while we might be able to find strength for our soul, we live in a day and time when, my friend, is seemingly people don't care how to live anymore. But my friend, there's still a standard today and by which we should live and carry ourselves. Oh, my friend, your help will not be at home, but over at the house of God. But now you understand me today. If you're not able to get to the house of God, God can come where you are. But if you are able to go, then go. Don't let the devil discourage you today. My friend, don't let the devil take another day from you. Oh, my friend, the Bible said in one place, I think it may have been Abraham, said unto the Lord, what if, my friend, we can't make it over there? If they just look this way, would you bless them? He said, and I will. Don't take that as an excuse to stay home. My friend, you say, well, my feelings are hurt today. My friend, take your feelings and put them on the altar and let God help you today. My friend, there's no room for quitting today. Brother Anthony, there's no room to stop. I have loved ones, Brother Randall, that are lost. And I have some of my very closest relatives that don't go to church anymore that used to be faithful. The church is still there. And God is still the same. My friend, we can't let little feeble things stand in the way of us and God. Brother Anthony, if that stuff gets in between us and God, and people get in between us and God, they're closer to Him than we are. My friend, because they're in between us. Oh, but my friend, take up the feeble hands, raise them up to the Lord, get on them feeble knees, and get strength from your soul. You say, Brother Adam, I don't understand. There's a lot of things that I don't understand, Brother Randall, but I do understand enough about the Lord to know that He said, cast all you care upon Him, for He cared for you. He said, take my yoke upon you. My friend, He said, my yoke is easy and my burden's light. He didn't say, my friend, that it'd be a bed of roses every time you walked out the house, but He said He'd be there for you always, even unto the end of the world. My friend, Brother Anthony Moore, God's been good to us today. Oh, we've had some rough times in our lives. You've had some rough days in your life. But my friend, God is still there. He's still waiting on you to come to Him today. I remember, I guess me and Miss Miranda, we've been married for, I guess it's been nearly 13 years come this summer, unless my math fails me. But I remember when me and her married, my daddy come up to the wedding, and he was my best man in the wedding. And I remember just like it was yesterday. And my daddy pulled me off to the side, Brother Randall, and my mom and daddy never had a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money, and I'm glad it don't take money to get to heaven. But my old daddy took me off to the side, and he pulled me up close, Brother Randall, and he slipped $100 bill in my hand. And he said, son, he said, I'll give you this to help you. He said, but if you ever get in a place you need some help, he said, you're going to have to come tell me. He said, because if you don't tell me, I won't know. And there's been a lot of times when I've had to go and I've had to ask my dad for a little help, for a little money to get by. And I hadn't had to in a long time, and I'm thankful for that. But there was a time or two when I had to go ask him for some help. And him and Mama willingly gave. A friend of mine, that's just like the Lord in the church tonight or this morning. A friend of mine, if you'll come up to the Lord and you'll ask him, say, Father, I have needs. Oh, he'll give you unto your needs. He may not suffice your wants, my friend, but if you'll get where you want to be at with the Lord, if you'll get where the Lord wants you to be at, your needs and your wants will be becoming the same. Because you'll want what he needs you to have. And you'll want what the Lord needs for you. I remember a time, Brother Randall, when I didn't care if I got to church on time. I didn't care if we made it for Sunday school or if we didn't make it for Sunday school. But friend of mine, the more I went in this thing, the more I would go. I have a desire and an eagerness to be over at the Lord's house. Now, friend of mine, I ain't perfect by no means. Y'all may be on my doorstep one day trying to encourage me. But let me try to encourage you right now for just a minute. I know the storms, they get heavy and the rains fall hard. Oh, but my Lord, my friend, it said his arm's not too short that he cannot reach. His ear's not too heavy that he cannot hear. There ain't nothing you're going through today that God can't handle. He may not handle it the way you and I want to handle it, Brother Anthony, but the Lord will handle it. He'll take care of it, Brother Jim, and he'll suffice to give us that which we need. My friend, Brother Jim Beam, there's been a lot of hard days in this old life. Brother Jim, and if we live to see any more days, there's going to be more hard days to come. But friend of mine, Brother Anthony Moore, it doesn't matter how many hard days there is, as long as you and I anchor down and hold on to the Lord during those days. My friend, I know there's going to be days when I come in up in Whitesville and I'll be dragging up the floor with my lip. A friend of mine, y'all have to encourage me. A friend of mine, listen, I'll come in dragging them old hands down. My head will be hanging. But friend of mine, listen, sometimes you just need an encouraging word. Friend, the Lord cares for you. He said, cast all your care upon me. You know, there's a lot of people think that we can change the Word of God and make it read how we'd like it to. That's not right today. That's wrong today. You know, I've heard them say that it says, cast all your anxiety on him. That's not what it says. It says cast all your care on him. A friend of mine, you say, well, Brother Adam, they just changed that one word in that version. It doesn't matter. Well, that whole word, Brother Anthony, changes the whole meaning of it. He said cast all of your care, not just the stuff that makes you nervous. Cast every bit of the care on him. All of it, Brother Randall, every bit of it today. Friend of mine, they used to sing a song down at Mount Pleasant I've been humming around on the past couple of days, and Miss Jackie and Miss Jeanette used to get up and they'd sing that song and say, as we travel through the desert, storms beset us by the way. Oh, and then it said, don't not be weary. It's better farther on. My friend, on down it says, oh, my brother, are you weary from the roughness of the road? Oh, my friend, Brother Anthony, every now and then we just beat us down. This old world, I tell you what, Brother Jim, we'll come over to the house of God when God's blessing us. It's good. You know, they sang another song that says, he's God on the mountain, he's God in the valley. A friend of mine, it's easy to worship and be him, be with him when everything's going good, Brother Randall. But when it gets down and it gets rough, that's when you really need to pull up close. A friend of mine, he's still God in your valley today, just as well as he's God on the mountainside. God does not the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. You know what? And he don't forsake his children. I never have read where he turned his back on his children. I've read where he's chastised them. I've read where they've been chastised. Brother Anthony, the Bible said in one place, it says, if you're not chastised, you bastard not son. A friend of mine, I'm thankful for the chastisement of the Lord. Whenever I get out there and I get in left field or right field somewhere, Brother Anthony, and I know that I've done wrong, and the Lord will come by and He'll chastise me. That lets me know that I'm one of His, that He cares for me, that He loves me. So my friend, if you're going through life today and you got your old hands and your head hanging down low, let me try and encourage you for just a moment to raise your head and hit your knees. A friend of mine, get on them feeble knees. A friend of mine, raise them feeble hands unto the Lord, my friend. I promise you, He can reach further down than you can reach up. My friend, whenever you think that it's impossible, whenever you think there's no way, Brother Anthony, God is the way today, the truth and the life. My friend, we all go through death. My friend, we go through people in our lives that die. There's some of the hardest times in our lives. I remember as a 17-year-old boy, I lost my grandmother. She and I was really close. I didn't realize I was as close to her as I was. And these days I'll look back and I'll hurt. And I'll think back on times we did have. But my friend, listen to me. Whenever death does come, you encourage yourself in the Lord. A friend of mine, entreat yourself on the King's table. Pull out to the table and you will be fed. You know, Brother Randall, it's not every time that I've ever went to the house of God that I got fed. There's a time that I went down to Mount Pleasant. I sat on the very front row and I sat there and died. I sat there and I dried up and I died. But there's something inside of me that said, go. I'd come in, I'd go in week after week. I'd get up and I'd lead singing, and I was dead as a doornail. But something inside of me said, go. Go. I was in a valley. But you know what the Lord is? He's the lily of the valley. He's the bright and morning star. Brother Anthony Moore, I kept going down to the church. Brother Anthony Stone would preach and he'd reach. And there's just a few times that one day the Lord came by and He showed me that He loved me. You know, you get discouraged trying to be a young preacher and everything just don't fall in the way you think it ought to. Oh, my friend, but God showed me. He said, He's just helped me find my place. You know, you struggle trying to find your place at times. But I go ahead and tell you, if you ain't over at the house of God, you ain't never going to find your place. My friend, the house of God today, if you're sitting there at home listening to me on this radio, I sure would love to encourage you to get up this morning and go. And don't just go for preaching, get up and go for Sunday school. I don't know how it is where y'all go, Brother Randall, but every now and then over at the house of God at Whitesville, preaching starts way before 11 o'clock. You just don't ever know what God has in store for us today. Let's lay aside these old sins that so easily does beset us. Every sin, every weight, whatever it is stands in our way. Brother Anthony, we're fixing to go to Whitesville here in a little while. And listen, we're going to come in. There's going to be some that don't get there till 11 o'clock. Brother Randall, just because that's how they are. That's how some of them do. But friend of mine, there's a lot of times, I don't think I've ever been the first one there, though. Maybe once, but listen, there's always going to be some that straggles. But friend of mine, let's encourage them. Come on, get over here. We ain't browbeating today. Nobody. We just want to love on them a little bit and show them there's more to this than they think. The Lord helped us last week to preach on this little thought. There's more to this than we know. My friend, and I don't know why He's restirring it. But Brother Randall, I know without a doubt that I'm saved. God saved me 150 years old, Brother Randall Darrell, I'll never know it all. I'll never understand all of it. But I tell you what I do know. I know enough to know that he bled and he died for me, Brother Anthony. I know enough to know that he went to Calvary. He hung on the cross and he took upon his life sin. Not just sin, some of them, but every bit of it. He died, my friend, that you may live. He took on his life.
This has been the Sunday morning service from the Baptist Association, presented each Sunday at 7:30, live from the Associational Building on Champion Road at Oneonta. Be with us again next Sunday for this religious broadcast.